Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the world of cookery. So, for today, our lesson will be all about the core concepts in cookery and relevance of the course. But first, we need to know the learning competencies. Explain core concepts in cookery and discuss the relevance of the course. We also have the following essential questions. First, what is cooking? Second, how is heat transfer used in cooking? Third, what are the three methods of heat transfer? Fourth, what are the two methods of cooking? And then finally, why is cooking relevant in the course? First, we need to know what is cooking. Are you familiar with the word cooking? According to the definition, cooking is the art and science of preparing food for eating by the application of heat. Why is cooking considered as an art? Cooking is an art because it can be artistic, imaginative, and be creative in preparing dishes that is appealing to the eye. You can use spices to switch up flavors, and you can also incorporate ingredients in new and exciting ways. Why is cooking considered as the science also? Cooking is also science because it involves the transfer of heat onto a food item to improve its first appearance, second taste, and finally to improve its flavor. It also changes the physical structure of the items to be cooked through the application of heat, thus making it suitable for consumption. So we have the following kitchen devices that are used to cook food. First, you have the stove top. Second, we have the conventional oven. And third, we have the microwave oven. For the stove top, it can be a gas stove top, which is normally used for the common household. And we also have the electric stove top. Okay, so for oven, it can either be conventional oven or microwave oven. So later on, we will know the difference between the two. Each of the devices are designed around a different method of heat transfer. Are you familiar with the word heat transfer? So we have the following three modes of heat transfer. Okay, first you have conduction. Second, you have convection. And third, you have radiation. So how is heat transfer used in cooking? Heat transfer is a very important process in cooking food because heating food destroys potentially harmful bacteria and other microorganisms, which makes food safe to eat and easier to digest. So when food or liquids become hot, their molecules absorb energy, begins vibrating, and starts to bounce off each other. As they collide, heat energy is produced and transferred, which warms and cooks our food. And since cooking involves heat, you need to cook your food with just the right amount of heat because applying too much heat will result to overcooking of food and we do not want that to happen. So again, heat transfer is very important in the cooking process. First, let us define what is conduction. So when we say conduction, heat is transferred through a fire or a medium, such as hot plate, casserole, pans, a griddle, or a grill. It is the process of heat being transferred through direct contact. So meaning to say that for a conduction to happen, there must be a medium for the heat to be transferred. So when cooking on the stovetop, the heat from the flame or electric grill is applied directly to the frying pan. This means that only the flat surface of the pan is sufficiently hot enough to cook anything, and we must flip or toss the food to cook it properly. Again, notice that in here, the medium that is used is the frying pan. Okay? So again, in cooking food, we must supply it with the proper amount of heat to cook the food properly. Okay, so it is important that most pans are made of metals like copper that conduct heat very efficiently and does not melt on the stove top. So take note that metals are good conductors of heat. Okay, so we have the following examples of conduction. First, you have shallow frying, sauteing, and stir frying. So please take a look at the image. So that is an example of conduction. Okay, next. So we're done with conduction. Let us now move to the convection. So what is convection? It refers to a method of heat transfer where food is heated by a moving heat source such as a hot air inside an oven that is circulated by a fan. So in convection, the heat is transferred through a gas or liquid by the hotter material moving into a cooler area. Again, in convection, the heat is transferred by either a gas or a liquid. So we have the following examples for the convection method. First, cooking food in the convection oven. We also have stirring a pot of soup and also the motion of boiling water in the pot. Okay. So for cooking food in the convection oven, there is a fan and an exhaust system that blows out hot oven air over and around the food, thus surrounding the food so that it cooks evenly and more quickly. For stirring a pot of soup, it distributes the heat from the bottom of the pot throughout the soup. And finally, for motion of boiling water in the pot, it circulates heat which accelerates the cooking process. Okay, next we have radiation. So are you familiar with the word radiation? So in radiation, the process where heat and light waves strike and penetrate your food, and the transfer of heat is using electromagnetic radiation. So in radiation, basically, we use electromagnetic waves. So we have two main radiation heat methods. First, we have the infrared radiation, and also we have the microwave radiation.